Welcome to this special episode 258 of In Touch with iOS, the show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and I have a special guest. Barry Fulk is back on the show. We're doing a short show here. How you doing, Barry?
Hey, Dave. Good. Thanks for having me on. Trying to pull in all the vibes.
Yep.
So I did not get the golden ticket. I was not able to sneak my way into the park.
Yeah. I did ask you, were you able to make it into WWDC? I saw you got to the talk show and saw
the talk show was an absolute blast. Yeah, I sent you a video. So one of the things, if I don't know if they actually, well, I'm sure they live streamed it, but if it hasn't been released, they at the very end, Craig Federighi was on the stage talking to Mr. Gruber, and Jaws was there, and they jokingly pulled out a guitar and says, "Okay, were you really playing during the keynote or what?" And puts on the jacket, he puts on the guitar, and he shredded it. He really plays. I was impressed.
He plays.
Oh, kudos to him.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
We couldn't make you on the previous episode, but why not? Well, we could do a separate show here and talk about Apple Vision. We did the Vision Pro. We didn't actually talk about that on the previous episode. So you and I can have a great conversation about it because it was a big topic, obviously, during WWDC. So what were your first impressions?
Yeah, I mean, at first, the fact that they had it all was actually rather heartwarming because we've been hearing rumors for quite a while, and you hear the one more thing coming out of Tim Cook's mouth, and you're like, all right, here it comes. And overall, I mean, my first impressions were very positive. I think the way it's handled is different than other VR headsets are out now. Very intrigued by this whole pass through, so you can see your field of vision in front of you with the high res cameras. And the more I've been thinking about it, the more I like this idea because you're not trapped inside the headset, right? So if you're doing something in the headset, but someone approaches you or you want to interact with people, you have that ability in a different way than I think we've seen other vendors try it. And I like this idea. Now, there are still a few quirky things like those, the way your eyes are drawn on the screen, so to speak, for someone to see you. Interesting. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the blinking, the eye tracking will all make it seem very real. And I think that's at first when the rumors were coming out, and of course I was thinking it'd be some sort of weird googly eye things. I was a little concerned because it seemed gimmicky, and I think this will be okay. And again, hey, this is a version 1, almost a version 0, right? And what can they develop from it? I mean, you and I have been fans of the Apple Watch for a long time. That has evolved quite nicely. Well, of course, all of the devices have, but like the watch really didn't feel like what they were pushing that first year is not what it is now. It's become that fitness tracking device. It's the notifications are there. I find it invaluable just to those quick glances throughout the day. I like its the medication tracking feature. It reminds me, oh yeah, forgot to take my meds this morning. Little things like that are quality of life improvements. And so this takes it to a whole different degree of how do you want to take what they call spatial computing. Couple use cases that they showed that for me that I didn't know about, either it may have been rumored, but I just didn't know about, was like you just put it in front of your Mac, you open it up and boom, here's a 100-inch effectively 4K display. Like that's pretty cool. Now, as you and I both do some traveling, something like that. Now there's the plane scenario where you're watching a movie on the plane, and that's fine. But having this as a second screen, if I'm traveling, that's intriguing to me because I do work at night in the hotel room, and either I'm sitting on a cramped little desk, and sometimes I can connect to the HDMI screen in the hotel room. Sometimes I don't. I can use my iPad, which is okay. It's not a bad second monitor, but I really like it for that. Now, maybe I'm looking at it from a work perspective, but I think there is a lot of value there. As you know, I work in a research field, so they're always intrigued by this. I've already had discussions at people at my work that are thinking about how this could be used in, the healthcare field. And I think, again, there's some real interesting opportunities because it's it got enough cachet by being Apple that everybody's aware of it. It wasn't one of these, I didn't hear about the Apple. Oh, everybody here knew about it. Yes, I'm in California. And I think the way they're looking at it is like, they want to get behind this to see what they could do. And some of it's the basics of, this will be great in a virtual training environment. But we have clean spaces. We have manufacturing spaces that we can't have people go through. But you need to train them on this. And now this really does open it up into something more than just cartoony graphics, to something that you can do. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, you can do 3D recordings off of this device, right?
I don't recall if they actually said anything about that, but I wouldn't be all surprised, because it's you're going to have a full screen and you're going to be able to connect it to your Mac, and that's what was what really intrigued me the most, is not having to be stuck in front of a camera, in front of a monitor, like we are now doing this recording.
Exactly.
There
you go. It's going to revolutionize podcasting.
Well, that too, but just in general, just working, you'll have the virtual keyboard available to you. You'll be able to have the up to 100 screen in the virtual world, being able to actually get you'd have that immersive efficiencies for work. I mean,
right?
Because we all sit in front of computer monitors, whether it be a big monitor like I am or a laptop, right? And the screen's small. Everybody's eyesight starts, as we get older, it starts harder to get to see things, and I think this is kind of a neat thing. I'm talking about the entertainment part of it, with the partnering with Disney. That was a huge thing, and I'm not surprised because of Disney's link with Apple. So that was not a surprise when I heard that. And with Marvel and being able to see a lot of those movies and be well immersed into the technology. I think industries like movie industry and such are going to just be such a game changer. Movie theaters, I think, have to start thinking, we go back and think about 3D and how horrible that was, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
It was just a god awful thing. And then you're getting 3D TVs, getting 3D in the theater, wearing those crazy glasses, the paper glasses that is.
Oh, right.
So. But I think the design itself is amazing. Just having all the incredible amount of cameras that are surrounding it, and
the tech is crazy amazing.
Yeah. And I knew you'd be the first one in line to buy one as soon as it.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. I've got 8 months or so to save up for this. Yeah. I will admit, also sticker shock when they announced the $34.99 price, because
I think all of us did.
Yeah, that the rumors of 3,000. I'm like, that felt like a leak. And I'm like, all right, I could see it being $2,000 to $2,500. And I wouldn't be surprised if that price becomes realistic with perhaps a Vision SE or some other version of this. But for the Pro model, I get it. And I think Apple's well positioned. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So they can iterate year after year after year and see what those use cases are. And I'm sure there's going to be a ton of feedback from the developer community, which everybody that we've seen out here. And, again, whether it was during John Gruber's talk show or just talking to some of the people in the audience beforehand and after, I mean, the buzz, it's a stacked audience in that respect, but it really, people were excited to see what it can do. And because it wasn't just the typical, okay, you put on the headset, you're playing with other dinosaurs and great. And then you get motion sick. And then, this is really different. And I think, is it transformed the years ago? Not yet, but I think this one's got some really long legs onto it. If you really look into the future of where computing will go, this is, a step into that future of not being connected to a traditional computer and having the augmented reality, and technology will improve, right? We all know batteries will eventually get better. The lighter weight materials will eventually come in. That's just why they're using glass and metal where most of the other headsets are plastic. And I get it, right? You want something that's lightweight, but from the reviews I've seen, it's relatively comfortable even after an hour or so. Yes, there is a point you're going to get some fatigue. But I think that comes with everything. So I think. For a version 1 device, this is truly exciting, and I'm like, well, when can I get mine? Here's my.
He's got his glasses on. The other cool thing too is Jeff Gamet has said this when we talked about it last during actually when we were on for Mac Guys Only during the reaction time episode,
Mhm.
that the fact that, oh my God, this is going to smash my glasses because I wear glasses, and how am I going to do this? Well, they're going to have those lenses that you're actually going to be able to
Right.
get, and it's actually going to it's going to be able to actually put little lenses in there for you, and then you don't need to wear your glasses and still
Yeah.
have a good experience. So I think Apple was thinking really outside the box when it came to adapting this to everybody.
Yeah, there's from my understanding, there's a scanning device that they'll have at Apple stores
Right.
to scan your glasses, and within a few minutes they'll have the appropriate lenses available. Which
Which
again, it's almost
crazy.
like magic, right? And
Yeah.
I think if you don't have that option, you can send in your prescription and they can get those lenses for you. Because this is definitely a device that you're going to want to go to the Apple store for the fit of the head. To your point about the lenses. So I'll be curious for people who don't have access to that, how all that's managed. And again, it'll take time to roll out. There's going to be some interesting opportunities from other third parties coming out with perhaps their own version of the headsets or the cases around them to help change the fit. And there's still some issues. And I heard and a couple people were talking at the talk shows that there's issues of oils on your face, right? Or makeup or other things that might be on that could be an issue. So, I mean, it's things, lessons learned, right?
That's why this is a tease. They said we're not releasing it until sometime I would say first quarter of 2024. So you got quite a bit of time yet.
It's early, right? Early 2024.
Yeah.
So that could mean all the way up through, I think, April and Tim.
That's why I said Q1, maybe Q2. Yeah. So, but no, that's always Apple. You're always going to have them have them come up with a product this is a big announcement. It's the biggest announcement since the Apple Watch. So that want to get people excited about it. So there'll be a lot of chatter about it. There's going to be a lot of pundits already. They were complaining they couldn't film what I'm wearing because Apple wouldn't let any of the press film it, and they had to do their journalistic skills by describing what they experienced. So. But it is what it is. So, but before we run out of time here, let's go ahead. I'm going to wrap up here. What let everybody know about the Mac BBQ. Because we did talk. We've always been promoting Macstock Conference and Expo. That's coming up very soon. 42 days as we record this, and I mean we're going to be real close here. And let's tell everybody about the barbecue.
Thanks. So we're holding another revision, I guess I should say, of the barbecue. This will be 2 days before Macstock starts, so on Thursday, July 20th. Would love to see anybody that's going to Macstock if you can get there a couple days early. I'm about an hour away from the venue itself, so it's one of those things that if people can come in, ideally, probably makes sense to stay by O'Hare Airport, which is where I'm at, and then drive up the next day, enjoy Chicago. I'm sure there's going to be some ad hoc events Friday around Woodstock. So I'm hoping to hang out there a bit. And then talking to Mike today, he's like, "You're coming to the Macstock?" I'm like, "I'll be there. I don't know if I can be there the whole time, but I'm definitely going to stop in." And so very excited for that. So the barbecue itself is just meant to be a fun time, hanging out. Dave, you and I met there in person for the first time back in 2015. Right?
2015. Yeah. It's been a while.
And so that was great. And I want to kind of recapture some of that magic. Just hang out, have a good time, good friends. So I'll be catering in barbecue. We'll have a variety of meals, and I'll give the link and all that, because if you have any food allergies or something, please let me know. The event itself is meant to be free. Obviously, any donations are always appreciated, but it really is meant to be a place to hang. We'll start in the early afternoon. Go as late as anybody wants, indoors in our house, outdoors in the backyard. We've got a covered, what I call the pavilion. So if there's a little bit of rain or windy, there's a nice place out there. And we actually going to have a friend of mine who's a wine manager at one of the local liquor stores is going to come by and do a wine tasting. So at about 6:00, he's going to come by. If people are interested, he'll do that. I'll probably do some informal ones before and after. As I've been spending time in California, wine has become one of my passions. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to kind of add a little bit more to the barbecue itself. So again, it's Thursday, July 20th. Please come by. The only thing I ask is that you either know Dave or you know me, or you know somebody that knows Dave or me, which is probably everybody. And the best way, if you just want to have questions about it, you can email me. So it's barryfulk@gmail.com. So BARRYFULK@gmail.com. I also have the website, barryfulk.com, which has information about it. And then if you go to the Macstock site, there's actually a link that Mike has posted, which is a really good way to just get a form to me. It says, hey, I'm interested in going, number of people, time I might arrive. And we're going to try to help coordinate schedules if people need to drive in, people are flying in at the same time. Hey, maybe you can share a ride share, or somebody can carpool. We've got great response already. We're not going to have the 125 like we had in 2015, which is good. And I wanted it to be smaller for two reasons. One is it gets a little chaotic, but also I really didn't get as much of a chance to talk to people and enjoy it because you're running around. So, whatever that number is fine. I think I'm pretty pleased with, if no one else signed up, we're at a great place. It'll be wonderful. But if a few more, there's a couple stragglers out there that I'm like, come on, let's go. Get to the barbecue. So thanks, Dave, for letting me talk about it.
Not a problem. And who knows? I might be doing a few podcasts while we're there too.
I certainly hope so. Yeah. And we'll have, anybody wants to do that. And I know, Dave, you and I talked about it. I'll set up a space for you and it'll be a lot of fun. And I think
like
just about, right. And I think just about every speaker is going to be there. So I'm just working on Mike Potter himself.
Oh, yeah, he'll be here. So,
that's right.
So with that, let's go ahead and wrap up the show for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithIOS.com. And we really appreciate you being here, Barry, and having this quick chat to talk about the Vision glasses and Macstock's barbecue that you're having. So thanks for being here.
No, it was great talking to you again. And I'll see you in, what'd you say, 42 days? Thereabouts?
2 days as we record this here. So
nice.
I went on Macstock website, has the countdown going. So.
Okay, so I guess it's 40 days for us.
Yeah, by the time this goes public here. So thanks for listening, everybody, and watching, and we'll talk again soon.